Hey Mom, where are we going?
We are going hiking as part of our training for the Everest Base Camp trek in October.
And the whole light hike, heavy hike, how does that work?
Well, we learned the hard way last year. We had did our second hike to Baldy, the steep route, 4,000 feet in 4.5 miles, so just over 1,000 feet per mile. And our legs were so tired. And then the next week, we attempted to hike Gorgonio, which is an 18-mile round trip. I believe it's a 5,500 elevation.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you said last week or last year.
The next week.
Oh, the next week of last year. Okay.
Yeah. And I was sore when we started that hike. And we had gotten within 1.5 miles, I think, to the top. And I was barely moving. And you were wise enough to say we should probably turn back. Which we did get back in the night. We had heat lamps. We had lamps at night lamp, but it was still too much. So this year we do a tough hike one Sunday, and then the next Sunday we do a light hike. And by light hike, we walk between 3 to 6 miles. And tough hikes, we're walking probably 10. I guess the toughest will be 18 miles, and a lot more elevation gain. So
What did we do last week?
last week we hiked Baldy again, and it kicked our butts again. That's half the fun.
4,000 foot elevation gain in only 5 miles, and then round trip would be 10 miles.
Well, it's 4.5.
Okay, round trip will be 9 miles. So can you explain a little bit more on this training for what?
Everest Base Camp trek in October. We will be going for just about 2 weeks. It's about 30 miles. We fly from Kathmandu to a little village called Lukla at the start of the trek. We actually start at around 9,500 feet, and the first day we trek down to 8,000 something and spend the night there, and then we go up to next day to Namche Bazaar, and that's at I think that's around 11,500 feet or 12,000. And then we stay there a day and acclimate, and while we're there, we hike up a bit to a museum and this beautiful hotel with a gorgeous view. That's probably the first time we see Mount Everest from the trek. And then we hike down, and that helps us to acclimate better. And then we continue hiking. On the 7th day, I believe, we get to Everest Base Camp, which is, I think, 17,700 feet. And the next morning, we get up and we hike up a side hill, Kalapatar, 18,400 feet, so we can get a selfie at sunrise with Mount Everest in the background.
But what about the whole training thing?
Well,
Can you explain more about the training?
yeah, we part of the training is acclimating and going on higher mountain heights. We don't necessarily
You mean
have
higher
to
elevation?
do that. Yeah, elevation. We don't necessarily have to do it, but it helps
Why higher elevation?
because your body needs to acclimate. If you go too fast, you go too high too fast, in too short of a time, you can get elevation sickness, and it can be fatal. So it's not really necessary to put elevation in your training, because a lot of people from Nebraska and New York City have to train. But if you have elevation in the areas where you live, it's good to add to it. So we will be going progressively higher. Gorgonio is 11,500 feet, and then we're going to hike a 14er in a mountain range that's across from the Sierras in Northern California. We'll be doing that in August.
Okay, cool. Thank you. know what?
I know a weenie man. He owns a weenie stand. He sells hot dogs. And I forget it. I tried that one. Someday, Daddy, I'll join his wife. I'll be his weenie wife. Hot dog. I love that weenie man. Ooh, weenie, 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 weenie. Buns, buns, buns. And mustard too. Oh, weenie, 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 weenie. Bun, 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 and mustard too. Oh, she's filming me. Okay, ready? Go.
Well, what about you?
No, you go.
Come on, we have to start over now that you're smiling and laughing.
I gotta see this.
Mom, you're not being
Oh! I like that.
I'm,
Okay, wait, let's go over there.
I'm not including that.
I want to see it though.
Okay, so we're already off camera, so go ahead. Mom, you ruined it again.
She said to look at the
She said don't look at the camera.
We gotta send this whole clip to the guys. Let's send the whole clip. Okay. Okay, now we're acting natural. Okay.
Mom.
I was trying. Well, you're off camera from here. Okay, here we go.